Hello and welcome to Tuesday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic. And I watched one of Mark's videos the other night, which was on an yttrio puzzle. And it reminded me how much I love yttrio's puzzles. And this puzzle on screen has been recommended to us a lot. And I found it on Logic Masters Germany this morning. And I understand why. It has a perfect 100% approval rating, very hard to achieve, and even harder to achieve with a difficulty rating that is only average difficulty, because of course when it's only average difficulty, more people tend to solve it, and therefore you run the risk that somebody might say, it wasn't perfect. It wasn't the perfect puzzle for me. It was just very good. But that hasn't happened here. yttrio has still achieved, it's still at 100%, which means it's going to be magnificent. The comments on Logic Masters Germany just say this is a fantastic puzzle. Now, it's not loop drawing, which is the puzzle that Mark was faced with. It's Yin Yang today. So we're going to have to do, it's called Internal X Sum Yin Yang, which is the most prosaic title for something that's incredibly beautiful. But yeah, I'll read the rules of this one in a moment or two's time, and we will do battle with it together. Any news for you today? There is a little bit of news, isn't there? Well, actually, first things first. Let's talk about Patreon. Let's see where we're up to with that, with the oil and water Sudoku hunt competition that's running at the moment. Where were we yesterday? We were so close to 2,000 solves of the first puzzle. I really hope we're going to bump over that soon. And we were at 720 patrons have managed to solve the whole thing. It's ludicrous numbers. So let's see. Yeah, it's gone up by another 50. 774. And it's gone up by a little bit the number of folk who've finished the first puzzle. So many congratulations if you're one of the nearly 800 people who've now solved the whole thing. You will be in the hat to hopefully make a Sudoku video with me, which will appear on the channel in due course. So I'm looking forward to that. Oh, I've remembered something else I was meant to mention. I did schedule streaming. We are going to be streaming again this week, Thursday, 10 p.m. UK time. Do join us if you're free. We're going to be revisiting Blueprints for the third time. So I don't know whether we'll get to room 46 this time, but we're going to give it our best effort. So yes, as I say, love to see you then if you're around. Now, I've got one birthday to do today, which comes with pictures. And it's Caden's birthday. Caden, you've turned 26 over there in California. And I know this because your girlfriend Taylor wrote to us and sent me some pictures from Yosemite, which is a place I've never been, which I'm regretful about. I have been to California on a few occasions, but somehow never made it to Yosemite. And this is, I was worried I was going to get the pictures wrong, but you can't get this wrong. This is called Half Dome Rock, and this is a glacier. And, well, it's the most aptly named rock in Christendom, frankly, isn't it? That is extremely sensibly called. And there's this picture, and there's another one here, which is, I think it's called Vernal Falls. So what's that? Spring Falls, which is, I mean, what a place. What a place it looks. Anyway, Caden, many happy returns. I gather the two of you have been watching for a couple of years, and you prefer fruitcake, which I can't really get on board with, to be honest. I mean, I do like fruitcake, but it's not a match for chocolate cake. But because you've sent me such nice pictures, I hope you have very good fruitcake today. Probably won't be iced, will it? And Caden, many happy returns. Now, oh, my phone's buzzing. That's not important. So why don't we get on and have a go at Internal X Sum Yin Yang by yttrio. The rules of this one are as follows. Now, I've also snipped an example, so if we get stuck on the rules, we'll be able to look at that and figure out what's going on. We've got normal Sudoku rules apply, so we're going to have to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Yin Yang. Shade some cells such that all shaded cells are orthogonally connected, all unshaded cells are orthogonally connected, and no 2x2 area is fully shaded or fully unshaded. So this has become such a common rule set nowadays. I remember when I first did a Yin Yang puzzle on the channel and being sort of concerned that people might find it a bit too esoteric. But nowadays this is all de rigueur, isn't it? There we go. That is a possible Yin Yang shading. Why? Well, it's because all of the greens, you can trace through the entire green area by just moving along cells that share an edge with one another. So if we were to... Oh, hang on. What did I do there? That was a terrible, terrible effort at making this. Let's change that one to purple. If we were to include this as purple, now it doesn't work because the purples don't all connect along edges to one another. This purple only touches the other purple at diagonals. And also you can see here that this green area has been sort of made into a nasty green pond. This area of sludgy green can't touch the rest of its friends, and that's a great shame for it and would mean we get the puzzle wrong. I can hear Mavericks taken off, so we might get visited by a low-flying aeroplane in a moment. I apologise if that's the case. But the other thing is, of course, if you study this grid, you won't find any 2x2 area of the grid that is entirely one colour. So this is a valid Yin Yang shading. I doubt it's going to be the correct one, but we shall see. Now, small numbers in the corners of cells, so I've got one here, 26, are internal X-sum clues. The digit in a cell with a clue gives the total number of cells, including itself, of the same shading as itself, seen in all horizontal and vertical directions combined. Cells of the opposite shading block the vision. Those cells sum to the number given by the clue. So, so if we decided this was a green cell, let's just do some possible shading. Actually, that might be possible. I'm gonna claim mathematically that's possible. I don't know if it is, but let's say that was the shading. Then I think what you would write into this square is 7, because this cell sees 3 that way and an extra 4 that way, so it sees 7 green cells before it hits any purplage. And then we'd have to make these 7 cells add up to 26, which might be possible given the example. So that is a rule. Now, is that all the rules? No, there's one more rule. Digits may repeat within a sum if allowed by other rules. So the example I've done there couldn't have... Oh no, it could have had a repeated. Let's just go back to that example. That square could have been in one of, or the digit in this square could have been in one of those 2 squares, couldn't it? So you could have had a repeated digit within the 26 sum. Now I've got an example. Let's have a look at that. It's a bit small. Have I got my right glasses on? I have. I can't even blame my glasses. Okay, so if we just look at the solution here, you can see all of the green cells connect orthogonally, all of the grey cells connect orthogonally. There's no 2x2 area that's entirely one colour, so it's making sense. Let's just look at the top left. We've got 24 clue that's got a 5 in it. Yeah, and you can see that 5 sees 5 green cells. It sees 3 horizontally and an extra 2 vertically. And presumably these 5 cells add up to 24. Let's see, 15 and 9 is 24, so that makes sense. Let's have a look at one of the others. We've got a 22 with a 5 in it. And that's seeing it, those 3 and these 2. So 6, 3 and 5 is 14 plus 2 plus 6 is 22, so that makes sense as well. Yeah, so I sort of get it. Do have a go though. The way to play is it's a wonderfully rated and thought of puzzle this. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now I get to play. Let's get cracking. Now, before we start, because we're doing Yin Yang, I'm just going to talk about some secrets of Yin Yang that I know. Although we might have to talk about the secret of Sudoku today. We've got 2 45s there. But the secrets of Yin Yang, the first and most important secret is that you cannot ever have a checkerboard arrangement within a 2x2 area. And the reason for that is the rules of Yin Yang, because we know that if we have this shading, we're required to connect orthogonally the purple cells, and it doesn't matter how complicated a route we do to achieve that. Let's say it was that, which is a pretty complicated way of doing it. You'll see now that one of the green cells gets isolated within another green pond because this green one here in this example can't now orthogonally, it's completely enclosed by purple, so it can't get out. So we can't achieve an orthogonal connectivity between the greens. So we can't have a checkerboard. Now, a corollary that flows from that, which is often important, is that in the perimeter of a yin yang, so that's the perimeter, you can have entirely one colour. That's fine. No problem with that. You can even introduce a second colour to the perimeter. That's also fine. But what you can't do in this position is have another change of colour. So let's say we made that square green now. The puzzle's now broken. And the way to see that is to sort of envisage the colours as an exploded checkerboard. What do I mean? Well, what I mean by that is we've still got the requirement for the greens to connect. So you can see that whatever route I take through the grid to connect the greens to the other greens, we're going to isolate some purple on one side of the wall and purple's on the other side of the wall, and we can't connect them. So it's the same principle as with the checkerboard in the 2x2, it's just sort of bigger. So often with these puzzles, the trick is to identify perimeter breaks. Now, I don't know if that's the case here. It might be that we've got something going on there. But let's just think a little bit about, because some of these numbers are massive. Like that one. I mean, whatever colour that is, it must come sideways, mustn't it? Sorry, and I'm eliding over a secret there, which is something I share with only my very favourite people. But if you're watching this video still, of course you're one of my favourite people. The secret of Sudoku is that any complete column of a Sudoku, by the rules of Sudoku, will contain the digits 1 to 9 once each. And those digits sum to 45. So even, well, I mean actually though, this couldn't take the whole column anyway. Because that would be, well, it would see 9 cells in the column, and then in order to get to a count of 46, because even if it took all of those squares, it would only be on a count of 45, so it would have to take at least this cell as well, and now this would be a 10. So, yeah, it's fine though, isn't it? Because what it can do is something like that, and providing, is that 9 cells? I think this might end up having to be a 9, but let's say it did. Oh, that's weird actually, that's fine. Yeah, that doesn't, so just imagine that that was the pattern of purple that ran through this cell and that this was a 9. You can see that those 5 cells could have a maximum sum of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which is 35. And these cells would only have to reach a count of 11 then, which is very easy. Oh, okay. Five is incredibly small, isn't it? I was going to say that can't be a 3, but I think it can be actually. Because what you could have, yeah, especially with where this is positioned, that's very suspicious. So this can't be a 1, because 1 is not equal to 5. It could be a 2, let's say it went in that direction, and these were, all of those would have to be the other colour. Then this would be a 3. That looks possible. at least at first blush possible. Now, I think it could be a 3. Let's say it was that shape, and then we did greens in those, and this was a 3. These would be double 1. That adds up to 5. It sees 3 digits. And the reason I'm a bit suspicious that that will be what happens is where this 3 is positioned. It's positioned such that these ones won't see each other by Sudoku, so they could both exist. So that is 2 or 3. It definitely can't be 4. It definitely can't be 4. And then we've got these 2 here. This is where I suspect we might have to think harder. Yeah, I think it's the same as this one, isn't it? In the sense that this one, whatever colour this one is... Well, okay, not quite. Whatever colour this one is the same colour as it. Because if this wasn't, if this green, say, had a different colour beneath it, the only way of getting to a count of 45 is going to be to take the whole row as green, and that won't work for this one. So it is a bit different to this one, because now these would both have to be 9s, wouldn't they? They'd be entirely the same colour, they'd be seeing 45's worth of digits in their rows, so they couldn't see anything else. And we'd get 2 9s here. So that is green. Now, right, so this one is not green, because surely I can just apply that logic backwards, in the sense that if I hadn't started here and I'd coloured this one in green, then I could have used exactly the same logic I just did to conclude that this would also be green. So we now know if that's green, by sort of mathematical logic, this is green, and that's going to create a 2 by 2. Do you see what I mean? If this wasn't green, then this 45 has to be the row, and then this one's that's going to be double 9, and we're already broken anyway. So this has to be purple. Now, okay, so what we've now done is we have found a break in the perimeter, which presumably the only other clue we've got in the perimeter is this one. So am I supposed to somehow now know the colour of this? I don't know. Perhaps. I tell you something, it's not possible, for a similar reason to everything we've been talking about, for either of these to pick up their 45's worth of digits just by being a column of the Sudoku. That cannot be true. Why? Well, it's because there must be some green over here. Otherwise we'll have a 2 by 2 of purple very quickly. If none of those are green, they're all purple, and that's a 2 by 2 of purple. So there will be some green on the left-hand side of this wall, and the puzzle won't work, because the greens that we put over on the left side won't touch the greens that are already on the right side. So what that means is that this one has to have some horizontal component to reach a total of 45. It could have got 45 by being the column. We've just shown that's impossible, so it must have some horizontal component. Similarly for this one, this must have some horizontal component for exactly the same symmetrical reasons. Now we can avoid 2 by 2s. So that's purple, that's green. I mean, surely this has to take a lot of this column, doesn't it? If it took that digit and that digit, the maximum, well, yeah, the maximum those cells, if they were all purple, could add up to would be 35 if they were 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 35 is not 45. And this can't get any more than that cell horizontally. So this has got to come down. It's certainly got to take that one. And then even if it took this one, it's still 10 short. So it has to take both of those at least. And it might have to come further down as well. This one's different though, because this one is not close enough to sort of this edge, is it? If it just took those, that's probably fine. Or is it? No, that actually is fine. If it took those, what's the maximum I could make 6 cells add up to? 39 if I made them 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. And then I'd only have to add a 6 on there. So is there some reason? What do we want that to be? We want that to be green, because if it's green, I've got to connect it to that green around the perimeter. So if that's purple, oh yes, that's obvious. Sorry, that can't be purple. If this was purple, we said earlier that it's a 46 count. So it must have a horizontal component, because if it had just entirely a vertical component, it would only reach a count of 45. So that's got to be, if this is purple, and now this green is isolated from this green. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. This is massive, by the way, because once this is green, the greens, we said there was one continuous string of greens in the perimeter at most. So now we have to connect the greens that we've identified in the perimeter together. If we were, you can hopefully see it. Oh, Maverick is flying over. If this was purple, imagine this was purple now. That purple would have to come out here and connect to this purple, and we would isolate these greens on the left-hand side of the wall. So now we avoid 2x2s. And the same logic applies, doesn't it? That has to be green. It has to be. If it's not, we can't reach 46. So this has to be purple. And that has to be purple to avoid a checkerboard. $35. Yes, we have to go at least 1 up here. Because imagine this was purple. How would we make these 6 cells add up to 46? They couldn't do it. These are a maximum of 35. That's a maximum of 9. That's 44. That's not enough. So that's green. Now that's got to be purple to avoid a 2x2. Now this has got to be green to avoid a 2x2 here. And look there, there's a checkerboard avoidance there. Don't worry, by the way, if you've never done Yin Yang before and you're looking at me thinking, how does he see this relatively swiftly? It's nothing but practice, believe me. Now look, this now has to be purple, and then the purples have to form, well, avoid a checkerboard there. We could have done it either way, but we've now got a great long, what's that, a 3. That's like a 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. Oh, I know what number that is. It's 8. That is an 8. And that's, sorry, all I'm doing there is counting the horizontal and the vertical components that it sees. Now, can we do anything else obvious there? That 43 must have some vertical component, because those 4 cells could only add up to 30. If these were 6, 7, 8, 9 and all purple, we'd only get to 30. So actually it's got to have 2 going down there at least. Does that mean that is or isn't purple? if that was purple, that would be green, that would be purple. It doesn't actually work for that to be purple. If that's purple, because this has to be green to avoid a 2 by 2, now this has to be purple to avoid a 2 by 2, and now to avoid a checkerboard this has to be purple, and I've got 3 in a row, and the minimum sum of 3 digits in the same row of Sudoku is 6, it's not 5, so that definitely is wrong. That is green. I don't know what that... Well, I think it's going to mean we're doing that, but I'm not sure. What? Okay, what number's that? That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's 8 or 9. Which is interesting. That one is 7 at least. That's 7, 8, 9. So, how does it work? Yeah, okay. If that was 9, I think we just draw a checkerboard here, and that looks wrong to me. If that's 9, I have to make this purple. And now the 9 is saying, I only see 9. I now do see 9, so it makes that green. But this, where do we put... We've got to make that purple to avoid a 2 by 2 here. And we just get a nasty checkerboard down there. So that is not correct. And that means this is 8, which means this is green. And that's going to be important for the following reason. Well, it makes that not 8. 33 here. So if this had no horizontal component, so imagine this is green, then that is 33. But that's a 45 clue. So these two would add up to 12. Okay, I don't know, that might be impossible for some reason, but it doesn't look impossible. Oh, right. Aha. Here is a very beautiful, this is lovely. I hope this is what I'm intended to do, because this is beautiful. Right, this is not a 7. And the reason I can see this isn't a 7 is that there would have to be equality, I think, between this cell and those 3 cells by the secret. And there is definitely no way that this single cell can add up to those 3 cells. Now, why am I seeing it that way? Let me just show you. If that's 7, this is obviously purple. Now, the mathematics of this is saying that 45 is made up of these squares plus this. But we know that in row 1, 45 is made up of these squares plus this. So this and this, this is the most inarticulate way of expressing it, but they have to have the same sum, don't they? Let me say it again. If we're saying that x, we'll say that yellow is x. We're saying x plus that digit is 45. We're also saying, by row logic, that x plus those 3 digits is 45. So these are the same thing, and that doesn't work, because these add up to at least 11, and that I can't write 11 into this square. So, what we're saying instead... hang on, did I make a... Oh no, I did... Okay, so I did have this... Oh, that was because I knew this had to have some vertical component, so I was able to avoid a 2 by 2 here. That is now apparently a 9. 6, 7, 8, 9. So those have to turn green. This has to be purple. That has to be green to avoid a 2 by 2. That's got to be green to avoid a checkerboard. Now, we've still got the same logic going on there, by the way. Those 3 have to add up to those 3. How can I record that? Let's go to the pen drawing tool. Those 3 and those 3 are the same. Okay. Well, is that helpful? I don't know is the answer. What about this one then? Because this is now seeing a lot of digitage. That is seeing a lot of digits to only be 33. It's seeing 6, 7 at least. Oh, and it can't be 8. Right, so what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's 7 or 9. If it's 7, it's massively powerful because that will be green, and then we get checkerboard avoidance there. If it's 9, these 3 would all be purple, and that would be green, which would actually impinge a bit upon this, wouldn't it? That would have to be purple. So whatever this is a very crucial cell. Whatever this is going to be important. So, if it's 7, what are we then saying? We're saying that whatever this digit is, plus these digits, I'm trying to work out mathematically the relationship between this 45 and this 33. I mean, obviously the difference is 12, but that difference is represented by complicated things, isn't it? Well, or is it? Yeah, so the difference between... So this one, they both have those in common, don't they? That is true. The 33 and the 45, they have this vertical strand in common. So the 45 gets to 45 by these two being massive, at least. Yeah, so the difference... It feels like it can't work if this is 9, because the 33, I'm reducing this too much. I feel like 12, I feel like these would have to add up to 18, which might be total and utter nonsense. I'm just going to think about that. Hang on. So if that's 9, we're saying those 3 turn purple. Now what I'm fearing is that now I'm having to make these too big, because we're saying that the 33 is now made up of these 3 digits. So let's try and max out yellow. If we max out yellow, these would be a 1, 2, 3 triple, adding up to 6. That makes it possible for yellow to add up to 27 at most. And 27 is not enough. Yeah, because these 2 digits now have to add up to 18. I am right. So it's 18, because they have to add up to get to 45. They're going to be the 27 we've isolated in yellow, plus 18 more into 2 cells without even using 8 and 9. It's absolutely broken. So instead of that, well, 7 better work. I think 7 ought to work. Although, you know what, these, because these can't be 8 and 9, it's still going to be close, I think. Anyway, let me just, I'll think about that in a moment. This is definitely green now, so these are green to avoid checkerboards. This is now purple to avoid a 2 by 2. This is purple to avoid a 2 by 2. Now, can we do anything else with that? Okay, so what we should think about is how we... So now the maximum value of yellow... Yeah, this is forced. The maximum value of yellow is 32. And that's if I make this a 1. Now, that's the best I'm ever going to do, because I cannot make those two cells add up to more than 13. Because they can't include 8 and 9. So the only way this works is with a 1 here and a 6, 7 here. This is very clever, by the way. Oh, this is sick. This is sick. Oh my goodness. Because now my blue line, remember that adds up to the same as my blue line here. Well, that's 21. And this has to add up to 21 without using 9. It's got to be the same digits. That's got to be 6, 7, 8. So now this digit, which is a funny old digit, is not a massive digit. It is a maximum of 5. And it's not 2, is it? It already sees 3 greens. Oh, hang on. Hang on a moment. Purple. We've got a purple thingy. A purple, not only a purple 3 in the corner, but we can't leave it in the corner. Look, purple, if I double click it, it's stuck. It's got to get out. It's got to come through here and actually through there. And now this is a 3. It sees 3, it can't be anything else. So these squares have got to be 2, 4, 5. Well, that's definitely not a 2. Because if these add up to 3 and 2, this would have to be an 11 to get to 16. So this square here is probably a 9, actually, but let's just think that through. 4 would work with 9, wouldn't it? 5 wouldn't work with 8, because we've already got an 8. So that's got to be 4, that's got to be 9. These squares are now a 2, 5 pair. There was some comment on Logic Masters saying that this puzzle was as smooth as butter, and I know exactly what that means. It is just beautiful. Now, which clue? Is it this clue? That's already seeing 4. Yeah, that's quite a nice point. It's seeing 4. But it can't only be seeing 4 because there's already we can't write 4 into this square, so it's got to have more of a horizontal component, and now that square's become purple. So this is 5 or 6, isn't it? It depends what this one is. Oh, this funny thing can't be 3 in that shape now. That's going to create a 2 by 2. Oh, wait, well, yes, okay, hang on. How does purple get out? This purple pond has been created, so that's got to come out through there. So this is now green. This is purple to avoid a 2 by 2. Avoid a checkerboard here. That's purple. Avoid a 2 by 2 there. Avoid a checkerboard there. Avoid a checkerboard there. Avoid a 2 by 2. Oh my goodness me. Now, oh. Okay, that digit is now known. That is 5. Yeah, watch this. Okay, the secret. The secret is something we can use in this box. These cells we're now being told, sum to 26. Well, we know the whole box adds to 45, so we've got 26 plus 4 plus 1, 31, which means these two squares add up to 14 without using 5. So they've got to be 6, 8, and we know the order. That's got to be 6, that's got to be 8. So this square's a 7. Oh, this is absolutely glorious. 2, 3, 9 to complete box 5. And 6 and 8 look. Well, one of them is threatening to go in there. Oh, yeah, this is interesting. This square here, it sees 5 purples at the moment, but it can't be 5, so it's got to have more horizontal. So that's got to go further. That's now green. The purple thingy here that we're creating on the left side still hasn't got out, so it's got to get out there. And now this square is known. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. It's 8 is what that is, which feels too big, but we'll think, oh, whoopsie. We'll think that through in a second. 30. Yeah, okay, this is it's very difficult to make this add up to 30. And the reason for that is that if we try and minimize 7 different cells in Sudoku, well, we could get to a 28 total if we use the digits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, because I know the triangular number for 7 is 28. That's how I'm doing that. However, that's not going to be the total of these, is it? Because one of these digits is an 8. So the absolute lowest we can do here is an 8 plus the triangular number for 6, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6, which is 29. So this has to be that. That's going to have to be 29. That has to be 1. This has to be 6. These two squares have to be 7 and 9 in the row. And what do I need here? 4, 7, 9 to complete this box. And therefore that is a 4. C's the 7 and the 9. I've just pencil marked here. So this square is not 9. Now, I don't know. There must be some maths we can do on this, isn't there? How is this working? I've got to make these add up to 46. And this is this is quite a big digit. Stealing from the possible total we could have had there. I'm just trying to think about what the best way of doing this is. I mean, if this isn't a 9, it comes right down to... Okay, that's the simplest way of thinking about it. How is that not a 9? If it's not a 9, you can see it could be a 5. That's the next highest digit it could be. But that's going to require, if this is 5, and this adds up to 46, it requires those 7 cells to add up to 41. Now, if these add up to 41 and the column adds up to 45, these two squares should add up to 4, and they definitely don't. So that's got to be a 9. Now, these squares add up to 37, so these add up to 8. Oh, bother. That's not resolved, sorry. This is a 1 or a 2, going with a 6 or a 7. These two add up to 8. This is a 9 in the middle box now. Ah, what's that? It's going to depend. Yeah, this is brilliant. Right, look at this square. you can see we have not connected the purple up at the bottom. There's a choice as to how we're going to do that. We could have a purple here, but we can't now, actually. If that was purple, this would be a 6. And it would just put 6 in there. So that's not purple. That's got to be green. This has got to be purple to connect the purple. And actually what we've got there is a sort of slightly strange earthworm. or a slightly mangled Loch Ness Monster. So we've got mangled Loch Ness Monster. This square is a 4. 10. These squares have got to add up to 14. 5, 9 doesn't look very... Oh, maybe it is actually. Oh, bother. Sorry. Okay, this is either 5, 9 or 6, 8. Now, if it is... Okay, that's always 5 or 6 then. So this is always big. This is 8 or 9. Can't see how to resolve that, I'm afraid. Oh, but now I know what this is. That is... It's not a 3, it's a 2. It's a 2, 3, 2, 3. Oh, it's beautiful. Okay. Right, what are those digits? 2 and 5. So 2 and 5 are a pair over here somewhere by Sudoku using this 2, 5. We've nearly used up all the clues actually, so there must be... There must be something cunning, perhaps, that we can do with this one. Have I missed a clue? That would be just like me to do that. Oh, well, I've missed Sudoku. I'll do some Sudoku. Forced. Okay, what have we got in this column? 1 and 5 to place. That's apparently not resolved. And those squares are therefore 2, 4, 7. The Sudoku's sort of working, isn't it? 2, 4, 7. And this 4... Oh, I tell you what I can do. I can write the digit into this 43. 6, that's not actually very big. Oh, that's good. Alright, so 6 and 8 go in over here. So 8 is in one of those squares by Sudoku. Now, how does this work? Because these two digits can't even be very big. Yeah, the maximum size of those 3 digits would be 5 here, 7 here, and 9 here, which is 21. Plus 6 is 27. So these have to add up to at least 16. Now, is that well, I mean, it is useful. They've got to be from 7, 8, 9. That can't be 7. That's an 8, 9 pair now. I suspect that's going to have to be an 8, but I don't know that. Yeah, actually that's interesting. What would happen if this wasn't a 9? Oh, go away. If this wasn't a 9, then this is totally broken. Because the maximum size this could be would be 7 here, 5, 4 or something. 7, 5, 4, 16, plus 6 is 22. These two squares would have to add up to 21. That's just nonsense. So this is 9, which means this is 9, this is 8. Oh, they had to add up to something. What was it? I can't remember. 10, 18, that's a 6. Okay, so this is no longer a 9. Surely that has to be 5 rather than 1. Or again, are we going to be broken? So if we go 7, 1, we're on 17, 23. Yeah, those have to add up to 20. That's definitely 5. That's definitely 1. I think it's the same thing. If that's not 7, aren't we absolutely troubled? If this was 4, Then we're on 18, 24. These have to add up to 19. Yeah, so that's 7. The 2 and the 4 are resolved. And I don't know what that means. These squares are 3, 4, 5 by Sudoku. So these squares here are 1, 7, 8. And that's a 1. That's a naked single. It sees a 7, 8 pair. That's a 2 now. They had to add up to something. Was it 8? I think it was 8. Oh, no, okay. I mean, that's good, but it's... Oh, that's 9 now by Sudoku. 1, 3, 4, 5. So this is a 1, 5 pair. This is a 3, 4 pair. Doesn't seem to be resolved, does it? And this is a 7, 8. So we've got a 7, 8 pair here. Oh, but now I can work this out, can't I? I see. So what have I got here? I've got 21, 27. I need 16, so it is 7. It's 7, 8. 8's in one of those squares. 9. There are 4 there are 4 9s looking at this square. So that's got to be a 9. That's a 7. Or 4 9s looking at this box. Whenever you get 4 of the same digit looking at a Sudoku box, you can always place that digit. Oh, I thought I was going to be able to do that trick. Oh, I can, sort of. Where's 7 in this box? There is the answer. And now I've got 4 7s looking at this box, so I can place a 7 here. That's not a 4 because of this. So we need 1, 3 and 5. That's a naked single. That's got to be 5. This is a 1 or a 3. That's therefore a 3. That's a 1. No 3 in the corner. Although we did get a big 3 in the corner there, so we can't be too churlish about that. Now, where's 1 in the box 6? Oh, goodness, where's 1 in box 6? There. Therefore, that's a 3. Now, this row needs 1, 4, 6. I feel like that should be resolved, but I don't think it is. And these squares are 2, 3, 5 then. So that's not 2. That's not 6. Almost certainly this means I've not looked at a clue. Do we think it's a clue or Sudoku I've not looked at? Who knows? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It's likely to be Sudoku, isn't it? 3 is in one of those 2 squares. Let's just double check the clues. In case there's an easy win. No, I think... Oh, or have we? Hang on. No, we should look at this, shouldn't we? I was concentrating on the difference. Whereas actually now, what have we got here? We've got 21. I'm not sure where the best place to look is. It might even be the 33. The 33 at the moment has got 16 in it. So the other digits add up to 17. Which is... It looks like these are too small even to get there, doesn't it? Do we need the 6? 5, 4, 3, 2. Is nowhere near. That's only 14. Yeah, I definitely need a 6. So that's got to be the 6. And now these 3 digits have to add up to 11. So if this was a 1, we could never get there, because the others can't add up to 10. And now we need these 2 digits to add up to 6, and they can't be double 3. So that's got to be 4 and 2. This is 3. This, oh yeah, this is good. 1 has to go here now, so that's a 4. This is all getting resolved, look. 3 and 5 go into these squares. 4 and 5, yeah, we can do it. 5 in the corner there, that becomes a 4. In this column we need 1 and 3. In this we need 2, 6, 8. I feel like that should be resolved. I can't actually see that it is. Oh. What about this row then? Oh, 3. We can get 3 down there. So that's 3. That becomes 8. That's going to place 8 down here. 2. Oh, that's a 2. That's a 5. In this corner we need a 4 apparently. 4, 5, 5, 2. 2, 2, 6, 6. And that is the puzzle solved. A little flurry at the end. That is a brilliant puzzle. Oh my goodness me. Just beautiful. Some of the steps in that were so it's gorgeous. There's about 18 gorgeous steps. I mean, the start is lovely. Yeah, the start was lovely. And then it is amazing what yttrio is able to achieve with so few clues. I really liked the fact that I could disprove, was it 7 there? Because those would have been the same value. That was, oh, by the way, is it right? Yes, it is right. That's good. 10 days old. Very, very clever indeed. Loved it. Let me know in the comments how you got on. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.